Hi, this is Amy Fleming. This is my new book, Leaving Laodicea. I'm looking around. This thing we're doing, this thing is not working for anyone, except a very few. A very few people are winning here in this society, this culture, this paradigm. Laodicea. That's what want to call it. This place where we think we're rich, but then we look at things that matter and we realize we're not. We think everything's fine, but clearly it's not. We do a whole lot of stuff to keep ourselves numb, distracted, just to keep chugging along, chasing the same thing. But this thing we're chasing is not working. Maybe it's not a good idea? I'm going to explore the concept of regenerating something that we thought was lost. And when I talk about regenerating this, I don't want you to think about going back to the past. I want you to think about regenerative agriculture, because that's my metaphor throughout the book. In regenerative agriculture, we found that there are ways to literally regenerate what we thought was lost. The health of the soil itself. We didn't do that by going back to the way we rotated the fields in the Middle Ages. We went back to a place where we said, okay, clearly the pesticides and fertilizers that we're using, this chemical stuff, has some side effects we don't like. And we need to restore soil fertility. And we're going to use methods, and we're going to experiment and see what works. We're going to observe nature. We're going to do some science. We're going to see what works. And then people started doing it and tweaking it, and it's still in process. But it's working. It's working. We're getting soil back. So when I say we could look at social science and see, community is really important. Being in community, being with people is more important to your health than not smoking. I'm going to sit with that. That's big. Being in community is important to your children and their futures. Really important. Being in community is important for your safety. There's so much that community is for. But in the modern world, the way we've set our lives up, we'll look around and say, it wasn't even me that moved away. It was my grandparents. I don't have people. A lot of us don't. I might be second generation here, where I live in SoCal. Yeah, well, once about every 5, 10, 15 years, I meet somebody that knows my father. Yeah, he's 80. That tells you what kind of community I don't have. Same town. We graduated from the same high school. Probably walking distance from the house my grandparents moved into after World War II. People move. A lot of people move here. It seems impossible. Maybe it's not possible here. Maybe it is. There are people that can do it here. Maybe it's possible somewhere else. Maybe we could build something. We have a problem. Just like they exchanged a whole lot of food. I mean, when we get cranky about industrial agriculture, which I'm there, we also need to acknowledge that it makes a whole lot of food. A whole lot of food. And there were people going hungry. Well, when our grandparents or great grandparents or parents or even ourselves, we made choices to leave community. They made choices to leave community. Because there was an opportunity. But you know what? We figured out how to build soil fertility without those chemicals. And we figured new ways to get opportunity to places where we can still be in community and build roots, build bridges, build lives together. Because humans are so smart. We just think it's impossible. Or we ignore it and don't even, when you don't think something's possible to change, you don't want to look at it. I think we can change this. I do. I believe it. We can change this. We can change our world. We can start talking to each other again. We can start listening to each other again. We can start building things together and solving problems together. We were created to do life together. I don't want to tell you to do one thing. I want to tell you that it's possible to change. I want to tell you why it's so important. I want to inspire you. And then I want to watch while all of us who want to see the change do amazing things that are all a little bit different, going to the same goal. Because we don't have to be the same. We just have to be going the same way. We can have the material goods. Maybe a few less, maybe a few more. We can be rich in the real stuff, the stuff that matters. But not alone. Not alone. We can do this. It'll be hard, but it'll be good. And aren't you ready to work for something that means something? If you are, if you want to talk about this, if you want to learn about this, I'd love it if you picked up my book. And if it inspires you, tell a friend or pass it on. I'd love to see a bunch of battered paperbacks someday, beaten up. That'd be awesome. Let's change this world. We don't have to live in Laodicea. We don't have to do this. Come on, let's go.